like, how did she get to that point where she's able to just like on the spot come up with the story?
Maybe she
It's a
has
gift.
maybe she has a good imagination.
Yeah.
All those spineless.
Has a vivid imagination. I don't know any fishes that would have such a vivid imagination. Do you, Emily?
No, I have no idea. Definitely no one here.
Welcome to The Story Thinker, a Webtoons and Witcher podcast for superfans with scene-by-scene analysis. Featuring sharp co-hosts for a fuller picture, we dive deep into character psychology, relationships, and theories. We'd love it if you could like, subscribe, comment, and rate us on all podcast platforms and social media. For bonus content, you can support The Story Thinker on Patreon. Let's begin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 108 of Midnight Poppyland. And we are here with Saucy, BlueCaty, and Emily.
Hi.
Yes, and once again, I guess every new episode now that hiatus is back, we're gonna be like, yes, we're so happy to welcome back the new, the new co-host, the old co-host, whatever, the young but old co-host. Yeah, so we're happy to be back with everyone.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. It's been a while. I'm excited.
Yeah, so I guess just a short question. How did you guys spend your hiatus webtoon wise? Like what was your webtoon life for the hiatus?
Mine was non-existent. I have so many that I want to catch up on. Like I actually steered away from like your Purple Hyacinth stuff because I haven't caught up, and I'm like, and it's for no other reason. Like I don't know what it was. Like I just needed a break. But it was kind of like when Lily went on her break, I was like, okay, that's my cue. Like I'll break for a little bit, and it turned out to be a lot of it. And I have zero regrets. I've played video games, I've done puzzles, I've been walking outside, and I'm like, oh my god, there's sunlight and trees, and it's very vibrant outside, and I'm like, wow, I forgot that there's a world. So it's been nice actually having nothing, but now I'm ready to get lost in fiction again.
I think a lot of people took a break from webtoons. A lot of MPL fans, I mean. And I think it was needed. Like the story just got really intense, and not only because of the story, but I think it was a pretty rough year for everybody.
Yeah, so, I feel like everyone I know has had something rough. So
a break from online presence and going back into the real world.
Yeah. I think the only Midnight Poppyland or webtoons related thing I did at all this break was reading some of your fan fiction, BlueCaty. So
and beta reading for me.
Beta reading, that's all I got.
Well, yeah, I took a break from reading and I started writing, and also not only fan fiction but also parts of an original story.
Nice.
But it's still in progress. So.
Awesome. And Saucy, how was your hiatus? Oh, sorry to everyone.
I think you have your
you're muted.
Phone on mute.
Sorry about that, amateur. But I kept reading a couple of them, but I actually I didn't I was sort of slammed at about the same time frame as the hiatus, so it is, I agree with Em, it's a nice time to come back.
Yeah, and here we are. So let's get into episode 108. And we are searching for Louise. And I don't quite get this plan. I don't know if they're gonna just go on the water and look in the water for a body. I don't really get it, but whatever.
So from what I gathered is that Tora knows specific body disposal groups, tracked down whatever one Gil happened to use, and that there is a specific location out at sea, like whether
he just went into that house and he had a fight with that thug that was in body disposal services.
Yeah, I think Minnie's point is it's the ocean, so how do you find a body in the ocean? But maybe it is an island, or maybe it is a specific location at sea or something, like a sandbar. I don't know. So we'll find out. It's how they figure it out.
We'll find out by the end of the episode. We'll have a clue.
Yeah.
I would love it if Poppy pulls out scuba diving gear. That would be
How
awesome.
cute would that be?
Going all the way. She's dedicated.
Or like having Tora in like full out recon scuba gear, and then Poppy's got on like floaties and like a snorkel mask, and she's like,
Yeah.
"I will take the surface, sir."
And of course, her floaties are like very cutesy. You know, they're like little.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's got to do this in style. You know, if you're gonna look for a body, you might as well spruce up your life a little in the process.
Mhm.
Okay, so we start the episode by a little recap. When Tora let go of her hand and she heard people whispering, people telling, well, that was embarrassing. That's how you'll be treated if you date dodgy people.
Asshole.
Asshole, yeah, exactly. Then, gosh, they're gonna cry. So they still don't know if she's a girl or not.
Right.
That's
Just like, whatever.
that's funny. Yeah. Whispers, giggle, and then I love that she has this look in her eyes like, I'm done with this.
The evil Poppy
crap.
look. God, I love that.
Yeah, the jaded Poppy
Yeah,
look.
that's
like,
better.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not
Okay,
just
screw you,
jaded.
assholes.
It's like it's becoming more like having a tougher skin and like caring less what people say, which
Yeah.
is a healthy thing.
She took a page from Tora's book, and she just I don't care.
It just
I don't
looks like the
care.
Poppy's having none of it. Look.
Yeah.
Well, because Saucy, you said something on Patreon, because I thought this was fascinating. That what I was this whole week, I was wondering like, how is Poppy gonna react? Because like, I'm like, whenever Tora's an abrupt asshole to her, like, there's a reason for it. Like, it's not like he's just being a jerk. Like, there's an unspoken. But I like it still hurts sometimes. You see that, and it's just like it doesn't matter if there's a good reason for it or he has his own baggage he's dealing with. Like, it still hurts. So part of me was wondering how she was going to react, and she obviously reacts differently here. And Saucy, you brought up some point about the previous.
She's been in this spot before, right, where she's dressed kind of out of place, right? And then these people who are all in place are all around her, peeking at her and giggling and whispering and whatever. Remember outside of the Black Swan? What was it, episode 15? Where
Hillary's friend also said that she dresses like an 8-year-old or something. I seem to recall that.
Well,
like,
she didn't. Yeah, she said she texted him and she's like, you know, are you dressed up? Because I didn't dress up. I just used the last of my laundry or whatever it was in that episode. But here's the same thing, and she shrugs
15.
it off.
Yeah, episode 15. I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's when yeah, because she shows up to that place. She's just got on like her cute little comfy clothes, and everyone's dressed fancy, and they're judging her hardcore. And in this case, they're judging her for who she's with instead of what she's wearing necessarily.
Also,
but
I'd like to point out another parallel with that episode. With this, it just came to me. So in that episode with the Black Swan, Tora sees her outside and he changes the meeting spot, right? So they go to Alice instead. So this was, let's say, a way of him protecting her from the whispering of the people, from the gossip.
He changes his clothes too, remember?
Yeah.
But he borrows cues.
But now Tora let go of her hand right after they had that interaction with the guys who thought that he was harassing Poppy. So after that, he let go of her hand. And I think that, well, the fandom went crazy about it. Why was he a jerk? And why did he act like this? And so on and so forth. But I think that he did it as another form of protecting her from people's whispering. Like, you see this little girl or boy or whoever associated with a thug because he looks the part, and he just didn't want her to put her in that spot so that people would say, I'm so sorry for her, she doesn't know what she's doing or something like that. So I think that this is his reasoning why he let go of her. The same as in Black Swan, changes the restaurant just for her to be more comfortable in her surroundings.
Look,
Maybe
Katie,
I'm wrong.
in
But,
last week,
well,
I apologize, I didn't listen to all of it yet, but did you discuss that first recap panel last week?
I wasn't on the
Yeah.
podcast last
Where
week.
she,
We're filming
oh,
it
shoot.
tomorrow.
Well, you talked about how Lily always has the contrast in lighting, where
Mhm.
Poppy's lit, and in the sun normal world, and Tora's always in the shadows, in
Yeah.
the shadow world. Where in the very first, your comments made me think in that first panel where Tora's walking away into the darkness, and her choice is to join him there, follow him into the darkness.
Well, they have more recurring themes like that when she
Mhm.
joins him into the darkness, when they
Mhm.
talk on the porch and
Mhm.
other
Yeah.
just
But
before the ghost hits.
I think that's why I found that first panel so powerful. I mean, it's from the last episode.
And
but
also
yeah,
right now, after she braces herself and she says, "Screw you, assholes," so she just has a different
Runs
reaction.
after.
Yeah. The next panel is kind of rosy. She goes after him. She's like, "Hey, wait up." Indeed, he looks like he walks into a sort of into the shade, into the shadows,
Mhm.
but still the panel has a rosy glow on it.
Mhm.
So
And this is that growth you were talking about.
yeah,
Rick. Good.
I think it's a kind of growth in it's a metaphor for the growth in the relationship, because she willingly chooses him now, and she wants to be a part of his world. She wants to fight for what she believes in, like finding Louise, let's set this straight, let's ease his guilt for not helping her when he had the chance. And feels like now they are working towards the same future, let's say, toward the same goal, while not fighting with each other. So
I like that. It's like it's kind of like she was like, okay, you opened up to me, this is scary as shit, but you gave me all these details, you did it a little abruptly and it kind of freaked the hell out of me, but like, thank you for your honesty. And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna join you because you threw me a bone, I'm gonna step into this role for you and with you. But she's like, but I'm gonna do it in my way. She dresses in Jacob's clothes. She's like all wiggly and giggly. And she's just like, I'm gonna make the most of this shitty ass situation. And I love that.
Well, this whole thing is a narrative parallel, because how many times has he now been uncomfortable and but gone into her world, right? Like the date. I mean, he ran after Mr. Lamb and
he ran after her
painting.
He ran after her in Moonbright. He changed his outfit for her benefit in Moonbright.
He
as
wore
well.
boat shoes
with the glasses and the turtleneck, and you're right. And now she's dressed up as Jacob in like
Jacob's weird little leprechaun outfit or whatever that is.
On a side note, you have to love the care her friends have for her. I mean, the consideration that Jacob lent her clothes just in case she might need them. I mean, who does that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
She's got a good support group. I love it.
Yeah, tonight was not the night to borrow Ordine's clothes. That's for
no,
sure.
No. It's a little too conspicuous. There's another night for that, I am sure. And I will gladly look forward to it.
You're just reminding me of that lacy top that we saw that never got.
She pulled out from her suitcase.
Yes. That we never saw.
It.
Well, she could have worn Tora's pajamas, dinosaur pajamas.
What if she's wearing that lacy outfit underneath Jacob's shirt so she can later Jacob's shirt?
So she can impress Louise, who's half dead.
I mean, you have to dress
wait,
every
sexy time on the boat before we get to Louise.
Nothing like a romantic body disposal boat ride to get you going. Oh God. Sick.
So hopefully it makes a reappearance at some point in the future.
Excellent.
I doubt it will be tonight. But you never know.
Okay, we're back. So there's this boats for rent shop. Poppy is all running after Tora. She's
Wait,
out of
can I
breath.
just say, as a 5-foot woman married to a 6'1" man, it is exercise walking. Okay, my heart rate is pounding when we just go on a nice walk, and like Tora was walking with a purpose there. It is not easy, so I do not blame Poppy for being out of breath here. Because
poor thing.
Damn.
Pinwheel those little stubby legs to keep up.
And our like not Fitbits, our Apple Watches, we walk, like, let's say we both walk 5 miles. Mine is like significantly higher number of steps because I have to take like 2 steps for every one of his. So I'm just like, yes, he's taking his nice long strides. So it's not an easy life, people.
Yeah, but he stops short in front of that shop. So and she says, "Aren't you going in?" And then we have a close-up of the front door, which is a badge with Retired Police Officers Association. So now we
also an interjection. We just see a little sticker with a heart that's just barely cut off, but there's and it says HING, and I like to believe that there's an S that's cut off there, and it actually has heart.
Oh my god! Yeah, and I love fishing.
Yes, that's the one. He has a fishing club out here in this.
No, definitely not fishing. It's definitely Shing.
I heart Shing.
She doesn't love Shing. Yeah, we have to. We haven't learned more about him.
Me too. I need some more.
Well, you haven't. I heard a lot about him.
I know, right? But not, like, I want some like comics, some canon. You know.
Yes, some canon.
Mean, honestly, Saucy, your interpretation is canon in my head, but like, you know,
for now until we get. Yeah. Love it.
Yeah, okay, so
keep going, Blue.
we see Tora thinking.
Focus.
Yeah.
He has like a sweat marker, like the first time. It's very rare for him to be like nervous.
Yeah. I wonder where the jaw clench is. The vein in his forehead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then Poppy just
she's just regular sweaty.
She just yeah, she's from the exercise. She's sweaty from the exercise.
Sweaty girl stakeout. I'm gonna hashtag it.
But also Tora has a gesture like rubbing his arm, which is another gesture of being nervous.
Good point.
Which is really we haven't seen Tora nervous. So
there's a reason he's rubbing his arm. It's not just because he's nervous, it's because his tattoo.
It's because exactly. He's very self-conscious that he has his tattoos on display.
He can't cover them at this moment.
Yeah.
Unless it's 𝗥𝗲𝗱 shirt, of course. It could help out.
Right. Then we'll see the lace.
But you can see the wheels turning, and that's that. I've got an idea. I'm not going to talk to anybody about it. I'm just going to go for it. Let's do this.
Yeah, and then she just burst in classic Poppy fashion, like, "Hi there!" All bubbly and happy. And
I was gonna say, do you look at the word bubble? It's literally a bubble. Like you can tell
it's like literally a cloud.
So yeah, that's
just walking.
You have it.
Yeah.
I'm going night fishing. And I'd like to rent a boat, please.
Well, her fisherman outfit is finally, actually on point.
On point.
I stand by Leprechaun.
Yeah, but actually, she's very good at inventing stories, right? On the spot.
Yeah.
Really, like, surprisingly good. Like, I want to know why. Like, what in life gave her that ability? Is it like making up excuses for jewelry for so long? Like, is it like, I don't like, how did she get to that point where she's able to just like on the spot come up with the story?
Maybe she has a good imagination.
Yeah.
All those spineless.
Has a vivid imagination. I don't know any fishes that would have such a vivid imagination. Do you, Emily?
No, I have no idea. Definitely no one here.
Oh. Okay, so the lady at the counter, which by the way has the same sign with the heart. I love fishing.
Yeah, but that one's wrong. Okay.
Exactly.
It was a misprint.
I'm gonna go with you with your take on it.
That one has a typo on it. She has the wrong shirt.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, and that lady is like, "You need a boat license." So she's just she just cuts her off. You're going what? You're doing what? You need a boat license. You got a license? And just
I love this character, by the way.
She's amazing.
Yeah, and just you, what
lady.
about your friend outside? So she looks like she got out on the wrong side of the bed.
I think based on what happens later, I think she's already suspicious for and looking out for certain types of people, and she doesn't want to get involved with them. And even a little bit of Tora that she sees in the camera, which she has a camera for a reason. Obviously, there's stuff on that dock.
Yeah.
Well, if we remember back on the previous episode, or the two previous episodes, there was another boat shop, a rental boat shop open, which Tora didn't just stepped on it and went by it because they were seedy people. So he didn't want to take Poppy there, but instead he submits himself to the retired police association. So so what about your friend outside? Well, I think the lady's just cranky because she doesn't have a friend like Poppy has.
I mean, who wouldn't be? I'd be jealous.
Maybe next episode Tora will be like, "Hey, lady, here's my number of a guy who's interested."
Yeah,
give him a call.
If you ever need some sausage.
Yeah, if you ever need some sausage.
Oh my God.
Call Fred.
There you go.
Okay.
Look at how
Poppy
Poppy looks in that next panel with her little eyes.
It's like, my friend, I got a license. Who says I got a license? Tora, of course.
Tora says, yeah.
He has every license. He can fly a helicopter. He can drive a boat. He can drive a motorcycle, a commercial truck. You name it. He's like Daniel Craig.
He's like Daniel Craig.
That's great.
Yeah. I get that sounds like I think you're continuing.
The Dark Knight in shining armor. I got a license.
Who, me?
Yeah, I think so, right?
All right. I got a license. What else do you need? Ma'am.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember, he's trying.
I like how the ma'am is an afterthought, but like he is trying. Like, look at him. He looks so like
he's trying to look innocuous there.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
So maybe it's like, what else do you need? Ma'am.
Wait, can I just for a second talk about how he's wearing all black? Like, think about like
Poppy blushes when he says that, by the way.
Right.
No, she doesn't have a daddy kink. No, not at all.
Definitely not. But like, okay, as an artist, working with black is hard. Like Tora's hair, like, is all black. It's like dark black. So like you don't get a lot of like definition and depth in it. But can we just appreciate the fact that Lily made Tora's black shirt light enough that she could draw shadows so that we could see his neck outline? Okay.
Awesome. Yes. And I like in the previous panel when she's like, for my friend, and then you see this dark shape kind of come in and then looming, and then boom, there he is.
The Dark Knight in shining armor.
Yeah, I was thinking Jaws theme song, but that works too.
There you are. Like she's known,
Yeah.
Miss Skeptical ex-cop lady. Nice inks you got there, young man. You forgot to cover them up.
He's no nonsense.
Basic. Who forgets to cover up their inks? Come on.
Somebody who's in a rush to rent a boat, apparently.
Why does this give me the vibes of when he was talking to Mr. Lamb? Left my jacket at home. Or left my jacket at home. He's forward. And then Poppy's there thinking, he did bring one along. He's so honest. But he had to take it off because it was spattered with blood.
I think that's a bad look for him.
That's worse than tattoos, right?
It could have gone with the photo shoot, right?
It could have gone.
It's like we went to Carl's Jr. right before this. There was some mess involved, and it's not a big deal. So anyway, she looks up at him and is questioning. And then we have the restoration of the handhold.
Oh, such a massive hand.
For now.
Now she's vouching for him.
Really?
Okay, I have multiple theories for this whole section because it could go I don't know what they're thinking, and which I think is good, because the whole point is like their relationship right now is so complicated and tenuous that like at what point are they helping the other person? At what point are they acting on instinct and looking for comfort from the other one? Like, I never know if someone is lending strength or taking strength, because right now it is so complex and so complicated that I don't know what all these mean. So like, he's grabbing her hand here. Is it because he's like trying to seem less intimidating for the woman, being like, hey, me and this cute little girl do want to rent a boat? Is he holding it because he needs her comfort? Like, he's upset and stressed, so he's holding her hand because
I think
he steps
it's a
in
kind
front
of
of her
reassurance.
protectively.
Like she looks up at him, a question mark, right? A sort of, what do we do now? And he just takes her hand, and I think it's just a gesture.
I got this
I've got
kind of
this.
thing.
I've got this. Yeah, I
That
find a
goes
way
with him
to-
stepping in front of her protectively.
Yeah, and then he in the previous panel he stepped in front of her, and then he takes her hand.
Okay.
Which we see in the next panel that it kind of
So tell me when I'm supposed to stop, Minnie. But she says, I'll give you points for honesty, but we're not that kind of business. So you two better leave now or else. And then Poppy starts to panic. Oh shit, because she looks like she's reaching for something.
You know,
which you can see is a gun.
Do you think Poppy knows it's a gun? Because if I saw someone like reaching for their desk, I'd be like, I don't know, she's getting a pen or something. Like, I would never.
Well, in this situation,
I think it's the context.
Or else, and then a drawer opening, like that would make me anything, no matter what it is. She's gonna call the cops. She's gonna any of these situations.
Maybe it's an alarm button. Maybe it's
she could be thinking they're gonna call the cops, and now Tora's gonna be in trouble because she knows that's not a good fix for them. Like, it could have been anything. Maybe she does know there's a gun there, but
yeah, that's very.
She just knows it's going south. Yeah. She just knows Tora does not have this handled. I need to do something.
Yeah. So, and then I'll continue from here. So, I love what Poppy does. She just jumps straight to the defense, and she's on the offensive. And she's like, with all due respect, ma'am, I think you're jumping to conclusions here. Whatever your deal is with claims, it has nothing to do with us. And the lady is completely not buying this. She's like, if not, then what? Which is so judgy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, okay, Poppy's reaction here, the next couple slides you're going to read, are very you. Like, it's very like, no bullshit. Like, if you don't like it, lady, like, like I can see you just being like, what's your deal? Like, you're being completely discriminatory right now. Like, I can definitely see Mindy being in Poppy mode here.
Maybe I'm not so confrontational, really, but yeah, I could definitely probably make something up like this. Yeah.
I feel like you don't do well with like you were saying with in your interview, you're like, this is me, like this is I make the podcast, like, you know, like that.
Right, like, but I would just say, I would be stupid, like, yeah, he's in the clan, so what? But we're not doing anything clan. I guess making stuff up really is not actually my thing, but but yeah. Okay,
but the attitude,
right? But yeah, but Poppy is, you know, running with this story. She's like, I work for a lifestyle magazine publisher, which she works for a publisher, or used to work for a publisher. And I'm running a feature on this night activities in the city. And he's a model and engaged for the photo shoot. Totally believable. I mean, model material.
Okay. So she picked for him a model. She didn't pick, like, I'm, you know, a bodyguard for the city, like, because she's out and about. She's not like, she didn't give him a physical job, or even like, I hired him to drive the boat, or I hired him to whatever. She hired him to be a model. She picked for him the most ego-stroking thing she could have for Tora. Where Tora's in his mind is like it was uncle with jewelry. Like, she like picked something degrading. Now she's like, no, he's a model because he's gorgeous. And look at his beautiful body and his beautiful tattoos. And Dora's just sitting there like, what?
That is very, yeah, it's interesting. It's funny because my first thought, like, I guess, anyway, I'm going to be like so judgy here. I'm like, if someone probably would choose a job for me, I'd like, I want to be a writer. Like, you know, I guess the truth is, like I said, is pretty flattering to be a model.
But if you think about it, it does make sense. Her story makes sense. Sorry, I just slipped the Romanian word. She doesn't look the part, but her story makes sense because they just had an event, a night event, a dawn event with couples, and maybe they could have a reporter or somebody from a lifestyle magazine that would have made a story out of this event. So
yeah, but where's your photographer and your camera equipment?
Right. I was wondering about that. They're out
Well,
back.
maybe they left it in the car.
Yeah. Maybe it's in her little bag. Maybe she's just using a point and shoot. Maybe she's not a very good photographer.
Maybe
Yeah, because you're gonna do a
filming with
night
her
shoot
phone, like all
on
the
a boat
Instagrammers do these days.
with
Hey.
no lighting.
The camera.
Apple phones take some pretty damn good night photos. Okay, I've gotten some nice moon shots of this baby right here. Technology is advancing.
Look, I think the only real credible piece of this story is that he's a model for the photo shoot. That one, okay.
Fine.
And maybe that she works for a magazine publisher. Night activities. I like that though.
I got some night activities I can cover.
What night activities do you need, ma'am?
And she's like, that's it.
But somebody explain the next panel. All right, the handhold is released. So this is the story of the handholds, right?
So I think it looks like she's balling her hands up in anger, like she's getting angry for Tora's behalf, and she's getting upset, like, why are you being so judgy? That's how I interpret her, like.
Yeah, I had a combination of that. I think it's both she's releasing his hand, whether it's because she wants her story to be credible, she's not holding this model's hand who she just hired. Like that'd be a little weird. And it could just be like so there's multiple options. It could also just be like why are you holding my hand now? Like you weren't holding my hand before, like let's be in work mode now. Like, you know, we have a job to do. Let's get back to it. But I 100% agree that the reason she's not just letting it go and putting her hand to the side or something, the fact she's actually balling it up, I think she's damn pissed right now. Like legitimately angry on Tora's behalf.
Something just occurred to me. When she entered the shop, she was like, I'm going night fishing. And now she's like, I'm going photo shooting.
Well, maybe she's photo shooting night fishing. Okay.
Where's her?
Can you just get with it?
Where's her fishing gear?
She's gonna rent that too.
Doesn't have any gear. Like, we established that.
Or run when they
doesn't
get the
need
keys,
any gear. She has Tora.
But you know what? I'm guessing
he's showing the great art of catching a fish with your hand. That's why he's the model who does that also.
I'm betting though that nobody is complaining or saying, oh, why is Poppy such a jerk? She's like not holding hands with him. You know what I mean? This double standard baloney needs to just chill.
You're right.
Good for the goose and good for the gander, right?
I like that she had two stories and one right after the other without the bat of an eye. I'm doing this.
Confidence.
Do you dare not to believe me?
Confidence is half the battle.
Yes, 1,000,000%. Because you see, the lady slides the drawer shut. Even as she's questioning, she's already relenting and giving way. She's like, closes the thing. But how am I jumping to conclusions? These tattoos are clearly, and she's got her hands on her hips, but Poppy also has her hands sort of on her hips. Really? And she's like, a fashion statement?
No, she has her fists up like that.
They're balled up. Yeah, balled up. Like, I think it's not high. They're up higher.
Yeah, they're
it's funny. She thinks Tora's threatening and she reaches for the gun and then Poppy starts threatening. She's like, never mind. And she closes the drawer.
There we go. That little hamster. And they're like, freedom of choice? Or even and she's just ready to go on, like with whatever next story she's coming up with. And Tora is like, ooh, this lady
Tora
is she's defending me.
Yeah, how can you not love a little knight in shining armor?
Such a moment.
Camo hat. I don't know. She's a poorly dressed knight, but she's working it for
Can
him.
I draw a parallel here with the Ares street scene?
Yeah.
Because he has the same. She defended him on the streets against those thugs that were following her. And he has the same stance with his arms crossed across his chest and waiting to see what else does she come up with.
He's just waiting for things to unfold. Yeah.
She was in the same mode. If you know who he is, you should show some respect to him.
Yeah.
And now she is defending him again with somebody more close to her world than to his mafia ties, and she has the same attitude. But she just changes the narrative, she just changes the story so that it fits to the person whom she's talking to.
Mhm.
When was the last time you think that someone like legitimately like one stood up for him, obviously, but like made his attributes, positive attributes that she's defending? Here is literally physical. It's not like she's like saying like he's tough, he's strong, he's capable, he's whatever. She's just like he's a person that
He's beautiful.
He's beautiful. He
into art and fashion.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like when was the last time someone
And
honestly confusing him right now?
And
She's
fishing.
making a story.
Fishing.
Art, fishing.
That's
like
the night
when
fishing.
someone's
Is he has a fish on his arm, so that's the night fishing. That's all he needs is the tattoo of the fish.
there you go.
well,
Perfect.
Poppy just caught herself a big fish.
Oh, terrible. So bad.
I don't know who's
Swear,
swallowing
yeah.
the bait, but somebody is.
Children, listen to this podcast, Saucy. Reel yourself in, woman.
I really don't think they do. I hope not.
I
Well,
hope not
actually,
either.
Oh gosh. That's why, by the way, like Spotify has this thing when you put it on, you have to mark like, is it explicit or not? And I don't mark explicit because then they like, I think restrict it to some extent, but like, I'm pretty sure I should.
We're just talking about night fishing, Mindy. It's cool. If it works for webtoons, it works for us, right?
Sure.
All right. So yeah, she's like, oh, or even and she's like, all right. Point taken.
What was she gonna say?
I don't know. She probably didn't even have it in her brain yet. And she is like so upset that she's huffing and puffing, and she's got her lips in like a grimace.
Look at her little face. She's so
No.
bad.
I love that she took her hat off. She was like, I'm going to battle with you, lady.
With its hat.
Well, you know what? She did say it was itchy before, so like she was probably just like, get this friggin' thing off my head. I'm angry and it's itchy and people are being rude. Too many going on.
And she's like, we attract all kinds of people, no thanks to those scumbags up here. And I'm just looking out for the civilians over at this end. And then she waits a bit, and then she says, apologies to both of you. I meant no offense. Don't leave no one-sided reviews for my business now. So not bad. Not only did Poppy, achieve her objective of not getting Tora judged, she even got an apology.
Wait,
She
I
should
didn't
have
realize.
threatened her by just pulling out her phone and be like, I am going on Yelp right now. And just
I didn't see the next pat. I don't know. I've read this how many times, and for some reason, it never actually went into my head. That then she says, "Indeed," as she puts the hat back on her head, like so, like indignant, like it just. I can't.
Very
So
true.
indignant.
I'm
So-
telling you, she
With
was
the
prepared to go to battle, so she just took her hat off, like when you take your earrings off.
yeah. Oh yeah.
hold my purse. Yeah.
Hold my purse,
gosh.
exactly.
But
Hold my
look,
hat.
Jacob's little chain is flying as
Oh my
he
God.
pulls her hat back on so hard.
She looks hilarious. She's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
then, we have the perspective from Tora, and you like just see the top of her little hat, like she's not even in it. And she's like, no,
I know.
that's what we were talking about earlier. She's like nervous, but what is that?
Yep,
I
that's
forget
his
what
look
it-
right over your shoulder.
I think it took her
Yeah.
a great effort to be to act the way she acted,
Mhm.
like to toughen up and to go to have a conflict with somebody.
Mhm.
Now she reverts back to her old self with no, she stammers,
Mhm.
she stutters. Yeah,
it's often easier to get angry on someone else's behalf than your own. So I feel like
yeah. But if we
what's happening here, someone's disrespecting you, it's like you get annoyed, but you might not say something about it. But like someone ever says something about like my husband, I'm like, I will cut you. And then it's just like people walk all over you all the time, and I'm like, like, but yeah. Well,
yeah,
she's
I think it took an emotional toll on her.
So now the lady reaches into her desk, not for the gun this time, but she reaches for something and she throws it real fast. And she's like, 6 feet from the right. And Tora just
Poppy's
grabs
hat
it.
flies off.
Yeah, I was like, whoosh.
Yeah.
And she's like, good job keeping your cool, young man. and which is I think is a compliment, because she's probably just kind of dancing with the idea that like he actually is a thug, because especially what she says next, and thugs apparently they would react very like hot-headedly to her treatment. So she says that, and then she's like, "A nice reflexes. Modeling school trained you well, I see." So yeah, she doesn't buy it, because she tells him, "Just don't get me into trouble, you hear?" So I don't think she buys the story, but she is willing to let them rent the boat.
I think she trusts Poppy in a way. Like if somebody who clearly looks like a civilian, who clearly looks like a normal, innocent young lady, is willing to defend somebody like him, then maybe he's not that bad.
A statement like that goes
so he just gives her the benefit of the doubt.
So Poppy did end up vouching for him.
Yes.
Yeah. And Poppy's like, "What did she throw us?" And Tora's got his hands clenched because he has caught the keys. And Poppy's so excited. She's like a little kid. She's like, "Yeah," she's so thrilled.
This is her first like underworld mission, and like it's success. Like she got the keys to the like it's, I don't know, I feel like
step one complete. Next, take over the mafia.
Boat. Check.
Step by step. He's like, "Thank you, ma'am. We'll be back before dawn." She's so excited. And she's like, "Oh, I got back here. Fill up these damn forms first, you little." Of course, like I was like, "Hello," like,
and perhaps leave a card number.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't need a fishing gear. She doesn't need the photo shooting gear. She doesn't need forms.
Or just to see the license, fishing license. I mean, the boat license.
Oh, yeah. Like, she's a check credentials.
We're good. Move it along. Let's go.
We established the bond here.
Exactly. She's good. I'll just take it.
And then we switch gears. So we go from leave them on the pier filling out boat forms, and
in a rosy light.
But that's legit. I mean, you don't want to stop in the middle of webtoons and like to do Xeroxes of licenses and stuff.
Yeah, no.
That's not even, you need to skip.
That's not sexy. So we're gonna
100%.
So Lily pivots and she's just like, okay, we're not gonna sit there watching Tora spell his name with letters and numbers. And we're going to head to this what looks like a deserted island. And Louise, Gil's wife, is out of breath and scrambling, still covered in blood, absolutely filthy, looking for as much water as she can find. She says she's, breathing hard, trying to shake water out of this bottle, and says, "Fuck my husband and suntan lotion. I'm taking Daniel Craig with me next time."
Okay, I'm very confused. I don't know if I had lack.
Okay, so
why?
I think a lot of people are confused by this.
Is she like, did Gil take her on a vacation and drop her here? And like this was a pretext? Like what?
So
why are you talking about suntan lotion?
There's a game that people play, and I'm like 99% sure this is what this is referencing. That it's like if you're on going to a deserted island, what two items? So what item would you take? What two items would you take? So people always are like, I'd bring a book, I'd bring a flashlight, I'd bring matchsticks, I'd bring my husband, I'd bring, it's like if you could pick a number, 5 things on a deserted island. So it's a game that people play. So I think this is a reference to that, where she's just like, I am not taking my husband and suntan lotion if I'm going to a deserted island, because she's fucking there now. She's like, I want Daniel Craig with me. I want James Bond to be able to help me figure this shit out.
Okay, I got it. Now she's got to live because she's got a sense of humor.
Yeah. So that's we were actually talking about this at one point, how like it's such a dire situation, but like you kind of need to have some dark humor here. Like if you're stuck in a deserted island, like I'd be talking to myself too, trying to cheer myself up, because like my husband just tried to murder me, hired someone to dump my body. I'm in bad shape, and I'm just gonna have to rely on dark humor and whatever I can to survive this right now.
Yeah.
So this continues, and we get a little badump, which usually means something cute. Nice. Your heart is fluttering, but here it gets a little bit more dramatic. There's a bigger badump, and she's in pain, clutching her stomach. wincing and saying no, no, no. And then we get a reveal as she's, obviously wincing in pain, saying, "Stay with me, little one. Help will and it's cut off, and she falls to the ground.
But help does come.
So
Well, so we
heavy.
think. You're very optimistic.
Well, they just rented the boat, for fuck's sake.
here's to hoping, because that's, well, I don't think, and Gil doesn't know she was pregnant, right? I don't think,
As if
because
that would stop him.
Oh no, it wouldn't have. But like, no one knows she's pregnant except it looks like Tora, because he overheard her when he broke into their apartment, and Poppy because Tora told Poppy.
That might be also one of the incentives for him to go find her,
and
because she was pregnant.
And he saw the little dinosaur. Because if you remember in that scene, he saw her holding the dinosaur, and then he had a flashback to, I don't remember if it was someone giving him a dinosaur.
He had a flashback with his, or I don't know, with some hands, lady hands holding a dinosaur, but we don't know if it was his mom or somebody else.
It looked small, like smaller hands, like either another child or something.
Or maybe it was just, maybe there were his hands as the
There were
child.
2 hands. I actually just reread that episode recently, so it's baby hands and then slightly bigger hands.
Okay.
We don't make much of the panel where the Daniel Craig line, because it's kind of the punchline. That's what we focus in on. But I just like the composition of it, how the camera pulls back and shows how isolated she is. There's, I mean, it looks like there's a beach somewhere around there, but I just like when Lily uses those big sky vistas to kind of show people, show a couple of different things.
And as beautiful as it is, there's nothing more lonely than just an open night sky. Like the vast space is vast and no one's really in it. So like in that background here, you have a absolutely gorgeous space, but it's just her and the stars. That's all she's got on that island.
Yeah, like it's like
clearly
sorry, go ahead.
It's clearly just a small piece of land. There are no roads, there are no houses, no lights in the background. So
what's ironic is, like, if they had a nice loving marriage, this could be a place where they go on a nice vacation, let's sit on the beach, enjoy themselves. But it's like the exact reverse of that. It's like the worst possible way for her to be here on this island.
I mean, if she had water and shelter, she might not mind being on the island. I mean, in medical
getting away
care.
from her husband.
Yeah, I mean, getting away from her husband, getting away from the goons that brought her here. But she obviously needs medical attention, water, shelter, food, eventually. But yeah, that suggests an island.
It's interesting that she wasn't dumped in the water.
Or if she was, she might have swam. I mean, she still has blood marks and stuff on her, so like, I don't know. But she could have been dumped close enough, and then she swam to shore.
Maybe she wasn't tied. Maybe the last time we see her, she was wrapped up in
like a rug or a blanket or something. Not tied
with blood on it.
Yeah, maybe she saw that mystery of like how'd she get from like you're stinking now, which sounds like she'd been there for a while, you're starting to stink, and to this, like I don't know. What's your guys' theory?
I don't know.
Notice she's alive.
Yeah. So go ahead, Saucy.
Theory of how she got bloody?
No, but theory of how her body was dumped if she was actually alive. Like, and seemed like she was dead for a while in the house.
When they zoom in on the body or whatever, Gil makes a comment about it's been a few weeks or
a few days.
Blue. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
My assumption is that maybe she was knocked out at some point and he assumed she was dead, dumped her body in another apartment or something. And either she's been playing dead for a while, maybe she couldn't maybe the doors were locked or whatever, and she just kind of played dead for a while. Maybe she's smelling because it's been days she hasn't, showered and she's been just huddled in this room or whatever. I don't know. We'll have to. I'm hoping.
I think that's an all will be revealed thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm happy
dark ending.
We're seeing more of her. I'm happy that good for Poppy for her, intuition and going after her.
Yeah, a little bit of magic in that poppy.
And good for the ghost.
Good for the ghost, yeah. Ghost helps them.
I wonder who the ghost is or what the ghost wants.
So you always wondered what the ghost wants and what the ghost is. You love the ghosts. Nothing wrong with that.
So yeah, what do you anticipate for next episode? I think we'll continue with, this spot. See what happens next with Louise and Papa and Tori.
I mean, logically, I don't know what else could. Unless they come into another obstacle, whether they meet someone else, out there or whatever. But it would be nice if they could find her next episode.
Yeah, maybe Lily will throw us another curveball and she will switch his points of view and we'll see Quincy or Vincent.
Yeah, I never trust.
Thinking.
I'm always like, well, obviously, we'll see what happens with her and them next week. But it's never obviously. She's a
maybe we'll see Goliath out of the blue somewhere.
Yeah, so
Goliath.
Her mom.
Maybe Goliath.
Her mom.
Maybe the boat rental lady.
Are you sure? Exactly. That was.
Oh my god.
That's what I wanted to say. Are you sure it wasn't a boat rental lady?
She's been out in the sun a lot. Her skin's a little bit, sun damaged and wrinkly. You can't tell anymore. Maybe it could be the same lady.
Yeah.
And she thinned her eyebrows.
Yeah. We don't know.
So I guess I'm doing a slightly new feature. I started doing this Purple Hyacinth called Kieran's Art Corner. But Poppy also draws, so it'll be Poppy's Art Corner. So what is your favorite panel from this episode?
Ooh.
Oh, dang.
Have to look again.
Oh, I have a favorite panel. So okay,
yeah, you go ahead if you have.
It's this one, and it's literally just for purely aesthetic reasons because it's the first one in the tropical island, and it's just nice. Listen, tropical island, it has beach, it has water, and it just makes me relax. And I'm like, I would like to be there. So I know it's not a great place for her, but it looks like a very pretty place to be, and that's all.
Let me see.
I think my favorite panel is going to be the one where Tora grabs his arm, and it's not for the obvious reason, because obviously Tora arms are nice and Poppy looks cute, but I like the movement in it. The fact that you can those few little lines, you can literally see Tora grabbing his shoulder. You can see that act in your mind, even though it doesn't have to draw it going to that direction. You can feel that movement. So that's why I like that one. And the way his hands are drawn are very he's grabbing it, he's upset.
Oh, I like the one when he steps in and says, "What else do you need, ma'am?" The one when he yeah, that one. Not only because of the coloring, which it's really good. They have such good contrast. But because of the story, it's just how they support each other, and they take turns supporting each other, and they like that.
Sweet.
Well, I like the one behind your shoulder. Obviously, that's a classic, great one. But my favorite one is actually this one. Okay, you're gonna have to show.
Oh yeah, hold on, I'm on it.
The oh shit panel.
Yeah.
And the reason is because of the delicacy of the expression, how perfect that is, how expressive she is. There's a lot of not just webtoons but other comics where their face doesn't really change or convey a lot in that one, and then also the one where she grabs her hat and she's like, oh, and she's not saying it, she's like huff huff or ha ha. And she's ticked off. Yeah, but you see she's biting her lip and she's just those, they're so vivid, man. The emotion is so clear.
I'm actually zooming in to see what from an art perspective, what does Lily do to make that happen? Is it the shape of the eye? Obviously there's a little piece in her eyebrow, there's a little mouth move, but
It's a micro thing because I've heard people say, "Oh, the expressions don't change very much," and I'm like, "Dude, you're used to ones where there's very exaggerated, whatever, like a old Warner Brothers comic or something." But
like
this, they're so subtle, but it's so expressive.
If you take away her mouth, her eyes are still shocked. Like they're still like, "Oh God!" Like how?
Well, do it the other way. Take away her eyes. Same thing.
Yeah.
You can get the expression either way.
I think it's also the lighting. Like you have like a spotlight on her face and everything else around her is darker.
She is
like a focusing lens on her face. And usually when the background is darker, then you have this feeling that of something dangerous or of something.
Look at Louise's face; those little like wrinkle, like you can tell she's like older because there's more wrinkle in when she's squinting in pain. Whereas when Poppy does it, there's like the eyebrow or like one or two little creases.
And her wrinkles are smaller. Poppy's wrinkles.
Yeah. So with Louise, you can actually see like more of it.
But this one too, you can see the again, the camera on the screen is terrible, which is going to be grayed out anyways. But that one is people up. He did bring one along, the jacket reference.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Yeah, again, it's so clear.
Yeah,
you can see that she's thinking.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on the episode before you wrap up?
No, it was just good.
I also like when she pops in, "Hi there," and there's like all these fishing rods, and then later on there's one fishing rod.
Oh, is there? Continuity.
No, actually, most of them have all the fishing rods, and then there's one. So maybe you know how Lily drops out backgrounds to focus on one element. Maybe she's just focusing us in on the one rod.
Let's go with that.
One rod.
I'm going with that.
Maybe that's the rod.
On the Indeed. It's just the end rod.
It's a really important fishing rod.
Funny. And maybe that's the rod that they'll actually rent.
Yeah, you go. I see what you're talking about. Yeah.
For the night fishing.
It's a special one.
Photo shoot.
/photo shoot.
All right. Well, ladies, it was so nice to see you all again and to do an episode together. And so happy we're back.
Thank you so much, Mindy. It was a pleasure as always.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for showing up very early. Really appreciate the time sacrifice.
Well,
thank you.
Worth it.
Worth it. Worth it. My brain just lagged for a bit.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone, or good morning.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you so much to my current patrons: Susie, Lily, Molly, Veronica, Emily, Jo, Rochelle, Saucy, Tuggles, Ann Rose, Alexa, Misty, Joanne, Esther, and Watching You People, Emily, Jean, Kay, Lily, Christine, Sadie, Teresa, Mrs. Castaldo, Emma, Cora, and Beckett. Your support is truly appreciated.